Mhm. Okay,
Hmm.
thank you.
So
Hey,
Kevin, I think we might have skipped introductions because we do have a new board member here tonight, right?
yes, thank you. Um, Thank you very much. Everyone who is present, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our newest board member, recently appointed by the City Council, Kristen Donahue. Kristen, I'd like to officially welcome you and congratulate you on your appointment.
Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to being part of the group. Thanks.
Shall we have public comment now?
And Jim, did you want to make a few comments about public comment?
Well, I think we want to try to limit the public comments to 2 minutes so that we don't get too far behind in the meeting. And then after the public comments, I think it'll just be the board that's talking. So if it's okay, we can actually take up public comment now.
Just prior to that, I want to make a comment about the use of chat during public comment. If you would like to enter your public commentary via chat, you are allowed to do so. Use of chat by non-board members is considered public comment. After public comment is closed, chat is reserved for board members as a way to address technology issues and to remind visitors, in case there is visitors may not remember, visitors will receive a reminder if they use the chat function after public comment. And then if they continue to use chat after the reminder, they will be informed that they will need to be removed from the meeting because they cannot engage in public comment after public comment is closed.
And how mechanically are they going to comment? What do they need to do?
If any person present wishes to, Jessica, if you could unmute the non-board members and give them the opportunity to address the board.
So would
The board.
anyone like to have
Yes.
public comment? Anyone like to comment?
Jim,
Yeah.
hello? Now we raise
Hi.
my hand.
Hi, Walt.
Hi.
We can hear you. We can't see you.
At the last board meeting, Jim, we had 10 minutes. What's the story with 2?
I think they thought it might make sense to try to shorten the meeting. But if you
Okay,
want to go
well-
longer, Walt, if you want to need 5 minutes or whatever, I think that's okay.
Okay, can I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Walt Thompson, State Street, Newburyport. Duties of the Newburyport Board of Directors are listed in the charter of the city of Newburyport. Among those duties are to prescribe the duties of the librarian and have the control and direction of the librarian in the discharge of his duties. The librarian shall perform any and all the services in relation to the library and obey and enforce all such rules and regulations as may be prescribed by the Board of Directors. The city charter also states the mayor and the city council shall be trustees of the public library of the city, and as such shall have and exercise general supervision over its affairs. Because the NPL Board of Directors has oversight into the discharge of the librarian's duties and enforcement of rules and regulations, I respectfully call on the NPL Board of Directors to initiate an independent investigation to address alleged violations of ethics, policy, procedures, and processes between, but not limited to, the discharging of and enforcements by the librarian and by the aforementioned charter extension, the mayor of Newburyport and others of his administration, NPL staff and the NPL Archival Center staff and volunteers, chief of staff, HR, and the president of city council and the AFSCME union between 1/1/22 until the present, and to promptly make those results public. There appear to be serious allegations of violations of ethics, policy, processes, and procedures between and among the librarians, the mayor and other members of his administration, including but not limited to the chief of staff in the HR department, with and between employees and volunteers of the Archival Center of the NPO. Alleged ethics policy, processes, and procedural violations as allegedly directed by the librarian, the mayor, or others in his employ appear evident also between the HR department and library employees and Archival Center volunteers of the NPO. Alleged ethics policy, processes, and procedural violations also appear evident between the librarian, the mayor, and other members of the city administration with the AFSCME employee union, with the AFSCME employee member director of the Archival Center. My personal reading of the situation herein described to effect the displacement of the archival director seems to me to boil down to a petty dislike on the part of the mayor towards the archival director. The archival director has been doing a very professional and community respected job for years before the mayor was elected. The removal of the equally long time experienced and patron loved Archival Center volunteers appears to have been collateral damage. It appears to me that the HR department at the alleged direction of the librarian and the mayor violated alleged ethical policy processes and procedure behaviors as well as city employee guidelines, HR and AFSCME policies and procedures towards any grievances between the NPL staff and the staff and or volunteers of the Archival Center of the NPL, with the NPL Board of Directors allegedly remaining willfully ignorant of any events, conflicts, or concerns. Even after their executive session on June 7, 23, the NPL Board of Directors did not initiate an investigation of alleged harassment or bullying by staff or volunteers of the Archival Center. Why did the librarian, the mayor, city council president, assistant librarian, along with the other members of the NPL Board of Directors allegedly allow one or more grievances of the NPL not to be resolved at the NPL, but rather to be first presented to the public, thereby embarrassing and harassing the Archival Center staff and volunteers via an article in the Daily News Newburyport on June 12, 23, and copied onto the NPL website on or about June 13, 23. Contrary to quotes by the mayor in the June 12, 23 Daily News, there was no alleged bullying done by anyone employed or volunteered in the Archival Center. This falsehood was a surprise to the archival volunteers and expressed to me during multiple interviews with the Archival Center director and volunteers in question. Again, neither the librarian, the mayor, the NPL Board of Directors, nor HR, the city administration, or the AFSCME employee union performed any investigation into any alleged matters. The same 6/12/23 article, which was posted the next day on the website of the NPL, remained there until on or about July 17, 23. This NPL post broke ethical city and AFSCME rules against posting grievances on the city website. 1 month later, on June 17, 23, the chief of staff was told by a patron of the library about the NPL website post. As chief of staff in his frequent discussions with the mayor, this topic was allegedly most certainly discussed on that or an immediately subsequent date. Yet the NPL website post remained up until on or about July 17th.
Walt, I want to let you know that you've hit 5 minutes.
The mayor on 12/20/24 during the monthly NPL Library Board of Directors meeting said as soon as I learned of it, I had it taken down. Did the mayor misspeak on 2/12/24, or was this yet another example of alleged willful ignorance? The mayor repeated his false comments about alleged harassing and bullying by Archival Center directors, Archival Center volunteers towards library staff during a local radio interview, Local Pulse, on 6/19/23. An article about the interview appeared in the Daily News on 6/21/23. Sarah Kelso was hired in 2018. When she was appointed head librarian in 22, it should have been a seamless transition, but it was not. All the policies and procedures that had been in place over many years were changed or tossed out almost immediately throughout the library. It was chaos. She had the reference staff cross-training in every department. At the same time, she came down hard on the Archival Center, specifically the volunteer program. It is believed that her agenda was to kill the volunteer program, kick out the archival director, and have the reference center absorb the archival center. Dana Esselberg would have been in charge of it all. Dana has had 4 positions in less than 4 years: teen librarian, cataloger, head of reference, and now head of the archival center. That is unheard of in the library world.
Walt, you're past
By
your
the
time.
NPL board of directors to
Walt,
get
I'm going
input
to
from
mute
the
you just
archival
for a
director.
moment here.
There were no how to change performance discussions with HR and no investigation.
Mr. Thompson, you have
Volunteers were not
exceeded
interviewed, nor were the
time.
NPL staff who signed agreements, nor those who did
Kevin,
not sign the
hold
agreement. Holding me.
There you go. Thanks, Walt.
Any other comment from anyone? Public comment?
I do think, point of order, just Jim, I do think you need to hold them to 2 minutes. That's pretty consistent on across all boards across the city is 2 minutes.
Okay,
I think I am unmuted.
you are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Oh. My name is David Vine, 47 Marlborough Street, Newburyport. And I guess I speak like a lot of people do that really don't understand what happened in the archival section. I worked with Sharon for many years. I saw nothing but excellent work and dedication, and all of a sudden it all changed, and I read the paper. I'm not looking to do an investigation into this, but I certainly as a citizen have no idea whatsoever as far as what happened. I read articles in the paper, other people don't agree, and it's just a bit disheartening. So if you as the board can make people understand a little bit better what happened, that would be very helpful, I for one say. I guess the
well, I mean,
only
I can just
the
tell
only
you,
other thing I can say is that I said it before and I'll say it again, she was an excellent worker and an excellent person and helped incredibly, and it is disheartening. I'll stop there.
okay. Is there any other comment from the public? So I guess that's the end of the public comment.
No.
Yeah.
Try it.
Okay, this is as a reminder to the non-board members. Chat is reserved for board members. And please, board members, use it as a way of expressing any technological concerns you might have. Thank you.
Am I unmuted? Am I unmuted?
Yeah, you're unmuted, yeah.
Hey, my name is Margot Vine, 47 Marlborough Street, and I just want to reiterate what Dave just said. And I see it as a huge loss to the public library system that we lost Sharon, and I don't understand it either, but I mean, she was a gem, and it's a loss, and I just want to go on record as saying that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm done.
Any other public comment? In that case, I guess we should go to the approval of the minutes of February 21. Any discussion of those minutes?
Jim, there has been a request from a concerned citizen regarding the January 17, 2024 minutes. The section that is under, I guess, for that they would like the board to address is Section D, Personnel, Item I, which is City Hall has accepted the resignation of Sharon Speldiner, the former department head for the Archival Center. I have asked Andrew Levine to address that on behalf of HR in terms of explaining the person would like us to more accurately put into the minutes what the HR action was, using the words retirement instead of resignation. And I'd like to call Andrew Levine to explain the correctness of our minutes.
Thank you, Kevin. Hi, everybody. I'm Andrew Levine, the Chief of Staff. I'm speaking on behalf of the administration and my colleague Donna Drellick, head of HR. There was a request made to use the term retire rather than resign. I would say resign is still accurate, but retire would be more specific. And if the board wishes to update that language, I think that would be an accurate change. The letter of resignation that we received specified that the employee would be retiring. So I think that if that's a change the board would like to make to update those minutes, that would certainly make sense.
So any comment on amending the minutes? Does someone want to make a motion to amend the minutes? If not, then I guess we really can't vote on it. So
I'll make a motion to amend the minutes.
Second.
And how would we like to amend the minutes? Would you like me to insert the word "and retire" after the word resignation?
I think that sounds okay. How about everyone else?
It sounded to me like the person wanted the word resignation removed and replaced with retirement. If that's correct.
well, I think if she resigned, it should say resigned at a minimum. That's what happened.
Andrew, can you tell us if the language was resigned, or I am submitting my resignation, or am I submitting my retirement? I think whatever that the archivist said should be reflected in the minutes, since we weren't there.
Andrew, are you there? You're muted at the moment. Andrew, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
So he was wondering what what she actually said in the letter.
It would have said retired. Sorry, retired.
She said she's retiring.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so would you like me to amend the minutes to say City Hall accepted the retirement of Sharon Speldiner?
My feeling,
Yes.
Yes,
if that's what was reported from Andrew, then I think that
Okay.
the minutes accurately reflect that.
All right.
It would have said, I'm going to retire, was the language.
All right. In order to officially do this, I will need to do a roll call vote. If someone could did we have a second to amend the minutes?
I was
I'll
second.
second.
Okay. Jessica, did you get the person who seconded? I think it was the mayor. Jessica, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Got it.
Okay, great. Okay. Mayor Reardon.
Yes.
Okay. Ed Cameron.
Yes.
James Conley.
Yes.
Kristen Donahue.
Yes.
Gary Gorski.
Yes.
Christian Hansen.
Just confirming that this is from the January meeting. Is that correct? January
Correct.
minutes? Okay, yes, then I agree, yes.
Sarah Holden.
yes,
Steve Moore.
Yes.
Sarah Spalding.
Yes.
Madeline Witten.
Yes.
All right. I will amend the minutes and repost to the website. Okay. Jim, if you want to move on to the February 21st minutes.
Does anyone have any comment on the February 21st minutes?
I passed on my corrections to Kevin yesterday.
So is there a motion to accept those with Gary's corrections or?
Motion to accept the minutes as amended by Gary Gorski.
Second,
Okay,
All those in
Mayor,
favor?
actually, Jim, we
Oh,
have to do the roll
okay.
call. Mayor Reardon,
Yes.
Ed Cameron,
Yes.
James Conley,
Yes.
Kristen Donahue,
Yes.
Gary Gorski,
Yes.
Christian Hansen,
I was not at the meeting, so I won't be voting on this.
Sorry.
Sarah, oops,
Too. Sorry about that.
okay. So Kristen Donahue is an abstention, Christian Hansen is an abstention, Sarah Holden,
yes.
Steve Moore,
I will also abstain since I wasn't there.
okay. Sarah Spalding,
Yes.
Madeline Witten.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. I will post those to the library director website off of the city website. The next item is the next meeting date will be April 17th, 2024. Jim, would you like me to proceed with the head librarian
Yes,
report?
please do that.
Okay. Okay, I'll jump right in with the budget. With regards to the FY24 budget, as of March 1st, 67% of the overall budget has been expended. Of that, 73% of our operating budget has been expended, and 64% of our personnel. And given that we're about 75% of the way through the year, we're actually doing quite well. Any questions about the FY24 budget overall expenditure? Okay, moving on to the FY25 budget preparation. On March 8th, I submitted to Ethan Manning the library's budget proposal. And I wanted to let you know that that budget proposal, adjusts for inflation. The proposal I submitted has a increase of about 5.8% over last year's approved budget. And it meets two regulatory standards. The budget proposal meets and exceeds the municipal allocation requirement. This year, the library's municipal allocation requirement is $1,511,609, and the amount of the proposal exceeds that. Also, within the budget, the amount that will be allocated towards materials meets the regulation that requires the library spends 12% of its overall budget on circulatable materials, and that the amount that is allocated for materials meets that regulatory standard. The first budget meeting that I will have with the mayor is on Monday, April 1st. Any questions regarding the FY25 budget preparation? Okay, I will move on then to library statistics. Attendance in February was 9,953. Given that we have actually an average of 2 fewer days for people to come in the library, that is actually not bad. The average for monthly average for FY24 is 10,638. Our circulation for the month is 21,874. Again, it's a shorter month. The monthly average for February is 22,631. Overall circulation, we've done a few calculations, and we are actually at about 1.5 to 2% higher in overall circulation than we were last year thus far. We still have some of our larger circulating months coming up, as in May and June. So we're looking forward to seeing, knock on wood, a nice end to the year in terms of circulation. Any questions regarding library statistics? Kristen, this is new to you. Did you have any questions with regard to the statistical report or anything of that nature?
Nope, I'm just looking at it here and it seems clear so far, but maybe I'll have some questions later.
Oh, and feel free to contact me if you have any questions.
Kevin, I think
Yes.
it does say January statistical report.
Oh, sorry.
No biggie.
I will make sure that next month accurately reflects the correct month on that. Okay. There are any other questions? I'll move on to building and grounds. Okay, the first item I wanted to bring to your attention is that the program room audio AV system is going to be undergoing an upgrade. New England Data Integration, the company that designed and built the system that we currently have in place, is coming back, and they're doing some repairs and upgrades. Some of the upgrades include an updated wireless microphone system. They'll be replacing some broken wall plates and jacks, and they will also be installing a wireless presentation system in which you will have the option of not having to hook your laptop up to an HDMI cable, and it will conduct the presentation wirelessly. And the nice part about this project is the Friends of the Library are funding this project, and the project will cost approximately $7,800. So thank you to the Friends for funding that. The next item I just wanted to bring to your attention: on March 7th, DPS responded to a water penetration event in the interlibrary loan room in the basement. One of the outside the window there, in the window well, there are drains that are designed to not allow water to build up. Unfortunately, over the summer or over the winter, those drains had become clogged, and the water built up during that heavy rainstorm and came into the room. The DPS responded very efficiently. They determined the cause, they remediated the issue in the drains, the water was removed, and the carpet was dried and cleaned. So they, as far as we can tell, there is no permanent damage to the room, and we've been able to resume, we were able to resume interlibrary loan library activity in the room within 2 days.
Yeah, but I just have a question. It seems that
Sure.
the basement keeps getting flooded in the library. Should someone be checking that drain to make sure it's not getting clogged? Is that should public service employees be doing that more regularly, or?
I will discuss that. I will discuss that with Mike Bartlett and see if we can make that a regular maintenance item.
Okay, thank you.
Kevin, the location of the interlibrary, I'm sorry, the location of the interlibrary space, that interlibrary loan space that was flooded, how close is that to the archival center? The reason I'm asking it is that there was the flood last year that kind of damaged the floor and resulted in the archival center being taken offline for several months or weeks. I'm just curious if there was any co-location there.
It was actually the archival center is under the new addition. This water penetration event was under the Tracy Mansion, I think in the what's considered the annex in the back. So it was in the basement, yes, caused by a different issue from what I understand that caused the flooding in the archive center.
Yeah, yeah, I think the flood in the archive center was a sump pump issue. This seems like it was the drainage. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree with Gary that this ought to be something that DPS looks at, I don't know, every couple months or whatever, to make sure it's not plugged up.
I will address this with Mike Bartlett and see if we can get it on a regular schedule of just at least monitoring the status of those drains.
Thank you. You want to go to personnel?
Yes. Just want to make a note of that so I don't, so it gets addressed. Okay, moving on to personnel. The senior librarian for reference and information services position that was vacant was filled internally by Flor Gutierrez. Flor had been a staff librarian. She began her service here actually as a library technician in borrow and circulation services. And when she received her, finished her master's degree, she moved up, was promoted to the reference department, and has served the reference department for a few years now. And in accordance with the AFSCME contract, we did an internal search first, and we had 2 candidates, and Flor really, her interview, she really shined. She's got a lot of great qualities, and Jessica and I felt that she was very qualified to take on the position of senior librarian for reference and information purposes. And she officially assumed the responsibilities of the position as of this Monday, March 18th. Which leaves us with a staff librarian vacancy. In an effort to make sure that the library staffing needs throughout the building are met, Jessica and I have been assessing where would the best place to assign the current vacancy. And when we are through with that assessment, we will post the position, and the posting will focus on the part of the department of the library in which they would be assigned. And we hope to be able to post that within the next few days. And this position will also, as are all staff librarians, they are cross-trained to provide assistance in all departments. Any questions regarding personnel? Okay. All right, then I'm going to move on to the next segment, and I'll give you an update on the volunteer program development. As I mentioned at the end of February, Donna Dralick is in the process of reviewing the volunteer program documentation. I spoke with her on the phone last week and got an update. She said that she is reviewing the material, and I asked her, given your request to have the program for review by you at the March meeting, she indicated that she was due to the union contract negotiations. She will be holding off presenting the program to the union until the negotiations have been completed. She and I discussed it, and she said her rationale was that she wanted the program to be reviewed and approved on its own merits, and that she did not want it to be caught up in the back and forth of negotiations and have the approval be put at risk. So her goal is to present the program to the union, as she mentioned, after the contract negotiations have been concluded.
And what is the timing of that?
Unfortunately, I do not have a timetable for that. It,
Do you,
it
Andrew?
all depends. I'm sorry,
Maybe Andrew does?
Andrew, could you speak to that?
Or the mayor?
Yeah, so we're under negotiations are starting tomorrow. We try to run them as fast as possible. We'd want to finish by the end of June at the latest. And any earlier than that we can get would be great.
This is a long delay.
Yeah, I seem to recall that at least at the meeting I was at 2 months ago, this was the status that they were still waiting to negotiate with the union, and it does seem like a tremendously long time to wait to have us sit down and come to an agreement. So, for my 2 cents.
I would say that if this board is interested in trying to move it faster, then please let us know and I can talk to Donna about potentially moving us faster. And if we can maybe separate it from negotiation.
I guess given the kind of public exposure or interest in something like this, that that it would be given some sort of priority to resolve that, or at least come to some sort of agreement. So I guess my urge would be to try and have some urgency behind that, if at all possible.
Would someone like to make a motion to make a kind of an official request from the board to Donna to present this to the union?
Yeah,
I'll make
I'll make a motion to encourage the administration to work with the HR director to see if we can expedite the reestablishment of the volunteer program as quickly as possible.
I will second that.
Okay, all right, I'll do a roll
was
call
that?
vote.
Who just seconded?
Yes,
We need
that
discussion.
was Christian Hansen.
So, before we vote, so I do understand Donna's reasoning, and before we vote, I just want to talk about, you know, if we're putting the approval at risk, then the delay might be worth it, but, you know, I guess I want to know more about what that nuance is.
Yeah, just as my part of discussion, I don't think we're demanding, nor would the library board of directors be in a position to demand that the HR director, run roughshod and get some, push something. So, but I think it's just, I imagine Donna's aware of the interest in the community and certainly the board in reestablishing the volunteer program. So I think this is more of an encouragement rather than a demand that we couldn't really uphold anyways. So that's how I perceive
So
it.
she'll use her best knowledge to use our recommendation of urgency.
And Andrew, I get, like I'm sure other people do, a lot of people with comments on what's going on, and I just tell them I don't know, because all that stuff is beyond our purview with our particular role as directors. Should they talk to you about what's going on if they have concerns in the city? Andrew?
I mean, I will say anyone is always welcome to either come to my office hours or call the mayor's office if they have questions in the city.
Okay.
I have comment on personnel issues, if that's what you're getting at, Jim. I'm not sure, but
Well, I think that issue that got raised about what happened exactly, I don't know exactly what happened, and basically it's always said it's a personnel matter. And they're kind of annoyed that I'm on the board and I don't seem to have any knowledge to figure out exactly what the issues were, because it's all secondhand information.
sure.
So it'd be good to have somebody that I could ask the mayor, because really the city ordinance gives the mayor and the city council control of the library. So that's a logical place to go, but I'm just thinking if we know who basically they could talk to instead of stopping me, and because they put my name on the internet and saying what's going on.
I always tell people just reach out to Jim, but I can start telling them to come to my office.
Okay.
I'm just kidding, Jim.
No. All right, thanks.
Do we want to, do you want me to just unofficially with no board vote behind it to talk to Donna to encourage her to
Yeah.
move
I think we can
forward,
vote.
or do we wish to?
Yeah. I mean, I too am, I mean, again, I won't take a vote on this if you decide to. I'll just say present because you're essentially asking me, but I'm happy to talk to Dawn about this. We're working with multiple unions right now, so I think that has more to do with it, and just having we have a schedule that we work out these contracts, and I think this was just something we were waiting for to do when we were actually negotiating the contract. So if it's something that you want us to try to take up before we're there yet, you know, we've got a couple of police contracts, we've got fire coming up, we've got teachers next year, so we have department heads going on right now. All those union negotiations are happening right now. But I can absolutely, you know, work with Donna and see if we can, you know, get to some sort of resolution around whether or not the volunteer programs comes back and what's that look like. We could certainly work on that.
I'll just say if the mayor's gonna do that, I'd be happy to withdraw the motion and just, and I think he has a sense of the wishes of the board of directors, so I'd withdraw the motion and just let the mayor see what he can do.
Yeah, I'm good with that, and maybe we could get a report back at the next meeting if it's still open.
Okay. All right, we will hear back regarding the volunteer program in April. All right, and hopefully we'll have something different to say than it's still in review. Okay, moving on to outreach and community partnerships. Regards to outreach this month, I wanted to bring to your attention the home delivery service. The home delivery service is a way in which we bring library materials to those patrons who are unable to come to the library due to prolonged illness or mobility issues. And I asked our new head of reference to give me a kind of an idea of the how many they currently serve. And she said that we currently serve 12 patrons a month. And she said it's her hope that we'll be able to expand that in the upcoming years so that we can provide more service to library patrons who are unable to come into the building with physical material. And the report of ongoing partnerships with the Newburyport Recreation and Youth Services Department. The library continues to provide drop-in hours with the city's social worker.
Is everybody else hearing this, or am I just the only one?
No, I
that's-
think Kevin is
Kevin-
frozen.
I'm gonna give him a quick call. Just give me a hat.
Oh, he's back.
He's back. Kevin, we lost you for a minute.
It's saying my connection is unstable.
At least it's just the connection, Kevin.
Right.
Would you like to come
Not my
upstairs?
mind, just the connection. Okay. In collaboration with the city clerk on March 5th, the library served as a polling location for the Massachusetts presidential primaries. Any questions with regards to our outreach and collaboration efforts?
I think we missed the part about the youth services. You were
Oh.
frozen during that time.
Sure. That was when my connection was unstable. Okay. The library continues to provide the drop-in hours with the city's social worker. And in addition, we also host the Newburyport Rec and Youth Services Youth Council meetings, and they occur on a weekly basis. Okay. Moving on to programs. The library offered 57 programs to patrons in the month of February. There were 29 adult programs and 28 kids and teens programs. with regards to the library calendar, the previous month's closures, there was a snow cancellation on Tuesday, February 13th. On President's Day, the library was closed due to the national federal holiday. And on February 27th, there was a delayed opening at 1 p.m. for the Staff Development Day. Upcoming closure anticipated for next month is Patriots' Day holiday on Monday, April 15th. Okay. Moving on to strategic planning. We are very close to the end of the initial planning stage and moving into the community feedback stage. The community feedback surveys will be officially released on Monday, March 25th, and it will be open through April 6th. There will be an adult survey for residents and or library users from ages 18 and over, and a teen survey focused on our patrons grades 6 through 12. Online participation is highly encouraged. The library will have, though, hard copies available upon request at the library. The board of directors will be conducting, you'll be conducting your SOAR strategic planning exercise next Wednesday on March 27th at 6:30 p.m. I will send out a reminder with the meeting agenda as well as the Zoom meeting information. And again, that the agenda essentially allows for some public comment on the strategic planning exercise, because that is the only item on the agenda. And then the meeting will be handed over to our strategic planning consultant, Barbara Alvarez of Sage Consulting. She will conduct the SOAR exercise in which I will not be present to make sure that the feedback is free and unencumbered. And following the, actually beginning the week of April 1st, we will also be beginning our focus group discussions. Currently, the Strategic Planning Advisory Committee is reviewing standard questions and pulling together a list of recommended questions for our 4 groups that we will be conducting focus groups. Those 4 groups consist of members of the Friends of the Library Board, parents, seniors, and social service support organizations. We sent out about 82 letters to social service support organizations in the Newburyport area, looking to get their feedback on how the library could, through our mission, support their work and enable them to collaborate with us and on a variety of different ways. So we'll be conducting those focus groups within the first 2 to 3 weeks in April. And that is everything I have for the strategic planning process. Are there any questions? All right, Jim, I don't have anything further.
I think that's the last agenda item. Anybody have any other questions or discussions? Otherwise, I guess it would be time for somebody to move to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
You want to do a roll call, Kevin?
Yes. Okay, Mayor Reardon. Mayor, do you vote to adjourn?
Yes.
Ed Cameron,
Yes.
James Conley,
Yes.
Kristen Donahue,
Yes.
Gary Gorski,
Yes.
Christian Hansen,
Yes.
Sarah Holden,
Yes.
Steve Moore,
Yes.
Sarah Spalding,
Yes.
Madeline Witten.
Yes.
Okay. Our meeting is officially adjourned.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
Good night,
Very much,
everybody.
everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.